and welcome back to another episode of the Music Shack podcast with both
Ray
and Jack. Hey.
Yay!
So hype. We're both tired, so we're energying up to get through this. We've just had a busy week.
Yes.
Life.
One of those.
Yeah.
One of those weeks, but we're still here, which is important.
You gotta show up. We have both had experiences recently at the Kendrick concert. So Kendrick and SZA have been touring, or they're doing the UK and EU right now, currently on the Grand National Tour. For both Kendrick's GNX album and SZA's she did an SOS tour. So this is for the sort of the Lana side of SOS. SOS obviously came out in 2022, and then Lana, the deluxe of SOS came out in 2025, but it has a completely different theming, a bunch of new stuff on it, so it is pretty much the first time that she's toured this album. For
me, okay, not to make this just about SZA, but that album it's more than a deluxe. It's literally just a new album with one of the discs is her old album.
Yeah, that's the thing. We always talk about deluxes and if there was a point of them, there was a point of this.
Yeah.
It
could have just been a different album. In my opinion, it should have just been a different album. But whatever, that's a different conversation.
Well, it's whole different theming. SOS is fully water based and ships and
this is
oceans
land-based.
And land, and this is land, and it's insects and yeah, I don't know. It's cool. It's the theming doesn't come in too much into the music for this. I think SOS is a little bit more. You can see it in certain songs, but it is something completely different, and that comes into play in at the gig. So there was no supports. The way it worked is obviously Kendrick and SZA are both playing at the same time. Not at the same time, but there's no supports.
Yeah.
And they're both coming on. One sort of
well, there was Mustard.
Oh yeah, well yeah, true. Actually,
That's
Mustard was a support. I accidentally missed Mustard. We kind of showed up a bit late, but Mustard was only on for half an hour, right? Or that was
only half an hour. I think at ours it was 7 to 7:30, and then they came on at 7:45. So it was only half hour. And I mean, I'm not gonna shit on Mustard because he's a great producer, but I didn't think it was a very good DJ set.
What was it? I wonder, they must have played the same songs, right? Because we were entering where was it? It was Hamden. Was it Hamden? Yeah, it was Hamden for us. And you can hear, because of the houses and stuff nearby, you can hear the sound bouncing off of them. So we were a little bit away, and he was playing God, I don't. It was old bangers, but it was it was just not the music that I thought they would be playing at
So he it seemed like he was just playing a lot of music that he produced.
Yeah.
And then some old classics that everybody would know. But the thing that I thought was funny about his set, this episode is not about his set, but it's a good context. This is the support. So when he was mixing between the tracks, it was so lazy. It was so lazy. He would just slowly change the BPM, be the most lazy DJ thing you could ever do to mix two tracks together. And I was bro, you're one of the best producers in the world. We could do better than this.
He's getting paid. He comes on and he does his thing, and you know what? Honestly, can I respect that? Being I'm gonna show up and just slide. I've never produced anything, but I have friends that do it, and they can do shit well. And from what I heard, it was we obviously weren't there, but it was literally it was genuinely if I don't know, people that use Spotify, you shouldn't, and I shouldn't anymore, and I really need to go off it. But you can set an auto slider for a 10-minute grace period, and it's that's what it was from the outside, because
That's
like you could hear it just like slightly like turned down as the next song turned up, so it genuinely was just like a switcher. And there was like no
it's
thought
so
into
funny.
it, at least from what I could hear. And
Yeah.
but I guess it's like the whole point of like a producer being like a support, or like to, I guess it depends, like, because a lot of
It's
rap
just to
concerts
hype
is
up
to
the
hype,
crowd, really.
right? So
Yeah.
like the song choices were, I guess, accurate to like do that. I can't even remember who last Kendrick concert support was. Was it Keem? Maybe it was Keem. Cause so
Mhm.
yeah, cause he'd done like he'd done the Big Steppers tour, and but also brought Keem along, like Baby Keem along with him, because they'd done a lot of stuff on like Family Ties,
Mhm.
and stuff. So I think that's possibly who it was. But I've only ever been to one concert where they've had a producer or like DJ open up, and
I'm
it's never a vibe.
I'm having it. I'm having it again for Lord, which I think will be interesting because the crowd is very
Wait,
different.
that's what
Uh,
Lord's doing.
yeah. Jaime Stacks is opening for
Oh
her.
wow, okay. I'm actually surprised at that.
So,
I thought Lord, well, maybe not though, actually, because I don't
well, I
know
think
who
there's
Lord would
two
have had.
openers. I think he's the first opener, and then there's like another artist that's the second opener that I can't remember. Anyway, but I just
Yeah,
knew he was gonna be there.
that's cool though. I didn't. To be fair, I didn't know who would open up for Lord. So like, I guess that kind of, because you could go one way
Yeah.
or the other. But, so yeah, Mustard was on support. Completely forgot about that. That's my bad. And the way it would worked is like they would do like a couple songs each, and there was like a story throughout, as usually
Mhm.
with Kendrick, and like SZA's getting into that as well. There's like everything's a lot more cinematic, and it was like this fairly fleshed out stage production, thought like well thought out, and there was like story between it that came into play with what was happening on stage. This like the visuals were sick. The set list,
Mhm.
I think, could have maybe been a little bit better on my end. There was a lot of stuff that, as like an older Kendrick fan, there wasn't as much love to the older stuff. But and the stuff that was given love to was like done in like an interesting way. Like a lot of the older stuff was slowed down, or it was like there was like just little sections picked to be played, and I was like, oh come on, I really want to hear like this verse. Um,
Yeah.
but I thought the slowed down stuff was an interesting take on the older stuff. But I just kind of was like, I just really want to just rap along. I was like, that's all I
Yeah.
want. But it was an interesting touch. But overall, I think we had like good weather, good vibes.
Yeah.
There
You were
was,
in the pit, right?
yeah, we were pitting. It was probably the worst pit experience of my life. I can't lie.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a rule for 14 and over for a reason in pit. There was literally like 10-year-olds, 12-year-olds. Like, what are you
I
doing?
can't believe that. That's crazy.
No, I don't know. And they genuinely stood about the place,
Ha-
and like, I don't know how they got there. I think they bought normal tickets and somehow got into the pit. I wasn't really secured. I'm not gonna lie. Um, so I think that's what
yeah.
happened. But it was like, I don't know. The music was really, but the Hamden's really shit for like gigs, because it's a raised stage, and there's no like leveled standing, or there's no slope standing, so it's like really like it's really hard to see. And Kendrick's genuinely a bit like 3 foot tall, so like impossible to see Kendrick anyway. But like when you
Yeah.
can't see the stage that well, you can't see Kendrick, and that was upsetting. But
Yeah.
it's chill. I honestly don't think I ever seen Kendrick or SZA the whole set. Like, I think I just had to watch on
That's
the things. But that's just
crazy.
Hamden's setup. That was kind of, and also, I think just comes with Pit. But yeah, sick music, sick vibes. Pit was shit, but that's, I guess, just what comes to it. Like, we'll get into the whole
Yeah.
mix of sets and everything. But how was your overall experience?
My overall experience was slightly different. First of all, Jack went like a week and a half before me. I went in London.
Mm-hmm.
So and we had talked before, and I was like asking him like, how was your experience? So And I feel like my experience was different because I've never been to a rap concert, so I didn't know what to expect, to be honest. And I thought the experience was pretty good. I was expecting a lot more kids than I saw because I think I was jaded by what you told me, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
More than anything. But we had seats. We were in like the lower 300 section, so we had a really good view. Yeah, our view was really good. But we could see like pretty much the whole stage. I was so worried the speaker towers were going to block our view, but we could see everything. And I want to say just about the set in general. Like I said, I've never seen Kendrick before. I've never been to a rap concert. I've never seen SZA before either. I didn't go to the SOS tour. And I was really excited about this. And I'm sorry. I'm going to shit on our favorite artist, Taylor Swift. But I think that for a stadium show, that was probably the best executed thing I've ever seen. Like from a visuals and performance perspective. They did, like, considering, and we'll talk about it more in the future, but of this episode, but considering like how different both of their music is, like it's similar in a lot of ways. They obviously do a lot of collabs, but like they're essentially two different genres, right? It was very well put together. The visuals and the story across both of their sets were incredible. Absolutely incredible. And just like everything about it felt like every single detail was so thought out. And Taylor does that too. I'm not trying to shit on Taylor, by the way. But like I liked how much of a story there was that they were telling throughout their music, because that's what makes music so beautiful and what makes live performances so beautiful to me as well. So it was really good, and I really, really, really liked it. There was people in our section who are like really into it, especially there's a lot of SZA fans in our section.
Okay.
And they were like screaming the lyrics, and some of them were like not looking at the stage and were like screaming the lyrics to their friends next to them, and I'm like, yes, you go girl, but like also there's art happening on the stage, you should watch.
SZA fans are the most passionate fucking people in the world, and I love it.
I know,
like they're
it's
so
good.
That is so funny. Listen, actually there's like art literally happening right in front of your eyes. Like, please. It's true though, it literally is. Like I don't know, I just like Kendrick's got a lot more with it recent. Like I've been to like every Kendrick concert since like maybe 2015. I can't tell you, like maybe 3-4, I don't know. And like just the direction with these visuals and art that has grown is like it's so stunning. Like, and he's obviously getting a lot more like into that stuff with like PG Lang and like his stuff on like music videos and his direction there. But like SZA's SOS tour was like a fucking masterpiece. Like the set design on SOS was like mind blowing. Like I don't think I've ever been to a gig that has like blown my mind as much as SOS did. Like the full blown fucking ships on there to then transform into like a full blown lighthouse, and it's like this like raft that floats across. And like just overall, like genuinely, like the visuals were stunning, and like to see that combined together is like, yeah, like this was like genuinely really sick.
But that's what I mean, like their storylines and their way of like expressing their art in terms of visuals was different, and you could see that between like the two sets that they had, but they merged it so well together. I thought it was quite seamless. Like the parts where, for those of you who haven't been to the concert, like they do, like they each have their own sets and they go back and forth between each other, but then like in between they usually do like a collab song together, like whatever, to like be the middle ground between their two individual sets. And I felt like the way that it flowed and like the transition between both of their sets was really good as well. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a bit where, so like Kendrick came out first with like GNX, and like some like TPAP, TBAB. Oh my god, damn. And then so they ended. So he ended his first set of like his leg, with 30 for 30, which also is like as this is a song, but like he features on, but like so the so like the whole GNX vibe is like this car, and like I think it is a GNX. I'm not a car guy, but like it comes so it's obviously down on the bottom of the stage, but then SZA comes up, to perform 30 for 30 whilst Kendrick's still on stage, but the GNX comes up and it's all like mossed off,
It's
and
so
like
cool.
yeah, like all like embedded in like flowers and like dirt and like grass, and like this whole like Lana vibe is like fully like established, and it like that's how they come on like initially for their first song, and then Kendrick leaves, and then Kendrick comes back on for Euphoria after the Weekend by SZA's played. I can't remember how that transition happens, and then there is like a couple where like they don't have like features on, and it just like Man at the Garden, Kendrick goes off and SZA comes on, and but then it's like close to then it cuts to Doves in the Wind, which Kendrick has a feature on. Then Kendrick comes back on. They do like All the Stars, and then Love, where SZA sings Sakiri's part, and then SZA goes off, and then they do like a longer set, and then SZA comes back on again, but there's no like sort of mix there, and then they do after Not Like Us, they do like Luther and Gloria. Like really an interesting like mix of like how to control the presence for each like artist, right? Like there's no like it was a really long gig, so it was from like 7:45 to like like 10:30ish, like 11:45ish, I don't know.
Yeah, it was like 3 hours, I think.
So like
total.
Yeah, and like it didn't feel like that, but also
No.
like Taylor's didn't either, and I still don't understand. I mean, Taylor's actually felt like an hour. This felt like an hour and a half or like 2 hours, but I think because there was like just so much like beyond
there's
the
so much different
performances.
stuff going on.
Yeah,
for sure.
and they just made use of like these really cool stage props, like Lana SZA brought in like sort of like the ant theming a bunch from like really cool, like floated up in the sky during like I think it was Saturn, I can't remember, really cool, and like just stunning. There was a bit of an interesting, so like for Kendrick's, we always have, when you go see an artist, you're like, oh, this song is going to be screens everywhere, like phones are up, whatever, right? How it happens, like every artist has that one song that everybody wants to record, although I did notice like phones like the whole concert, but I think just because like they were constantly switching between the two of them, like people were just trying to like get a recording of like whoever,
everyone.
So there was like a bunch of phones, and it was like a sea of phones, the whole thing, but it was just whatever, it's gonna happen. But like Humble has always been that song for Kendrick since Humble blew up. And you know, like I'd obviously seen the sea of phones like the whole way through, but when Humble came on, like I actually seen phones go down, and I'm like, what is okay, that's not what I was expecting. Like Humble's a good song. It's not his best song, but it's like one of the songs that obviously just got massive media attention. So at the time of like the gigs, like every single phone was up during Humble and stuff in the past, and there was like genuinely not as much, and I was like, okay, well that's kind of weird, but it shifted to Not Like Us, right? Which you can expect is a big like thing, everybody wants to get a video of it, but I just found that weird, because I was like, I don't think I've ever been present where something has changed like that. But
I mean, I feel like we've talked about this on the podcast before, but like I think that was true for our show as well. Like everyone was filming Not Like Us, but I wasn't really paying attention. I think it's easier to not pay attention when you're in seats, because you're not so obstructed when someone pulls up their phone. Like when you're in a pit and someone in front of you pulls up their phone, it's like if you could see perfectly fine before, you can't see anymore. and it's like really annoying when all you can see is phones. But when you're in seats and you're in like a sloped area, it's like it doesn't really affect you. So I wasn't paying attention to it honestly at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it was true. It was also Not Like Us for us. But what I did notice was as soon as Not Like Us finished, half of the fucking place started leaving, and I was
Yeah.
like, they're gonna play Luther, right? Like, and Gloria, like, these are their two most popular songs for both artists. Are you not gonna listen?
Like
Like,
it's that whole like people came to see one thing. It's like that whole
it's
like
so
ceilings
funny.
vibe. Remember with Lizzie, like people started to leave it, so she
Yeah,
had to like genuinely play it as like the last song. She was like, if I play this any like sooner, like everybody
people
will
will
literally
leave.
leave, and it's
It's
crazy.
so annoying.
Like the
And like,
tickets weren't cheap.
no, like tickets weren't cheap. And okay, maybe it's like, okay, last two songs, I want to
Fair.
beat the rush and get the train or whatever. But it's like, that's, I don't know. Like, for me, like, Luther has been like number one on the charts for like months,
Mm-hmm.
earlier this year. So I thought it had more popularity than Not Like Us, not gonna lie. And like, you're there to see Kendrick and SZA, so you should listen to their most popular song together.
Yeah, like I don't know, that's what you wanted, so they're literally doing it. I'd much rather sprint and like panic after being there for the whole set than like
Yeah.
leave early. But that's just me. I don't know. But maybe
I
it's
don't
different in London.
care. No, I mean, I don't know. I can't say because our journey home was relatively easy, but maybe if you live somewhere further away, it would be hard. But I think it's easy enough to get home from the stadium that like you're gonna be fine if you leave at the end of the set. But whatever. I'm not gonna judge people for leaving early, but I always judge people for leaving early. I'm like, you paid a lot of money to be here, and you're gonna just skip part of the concert. Like,
That's
there was
it
a girl
though.
next to us who was like, she was very obvious. She was there by herself, and she was very obviously only a Kendrick fan.
Mm-hmm.
Because every time SZA was on by herself, she was just sitting down. And I'm like, fine, she wasn't being disrespectful or anything, but as soon as Not Like Us ended, she bolted. And I was like, oh my god, okay.
So that you've led on to it, and this is pretty much I think what the main topic is like, does it work, right? Like this is
Yeah,
something that I don't think we've seen done to this spectre before. Like this is a good
no.
idea, because it like it splits up sort of this whole like two big artists, like one of them has to support like it, that I guess it doesn't have to be the case, like
Mm-hmm.
um and they're both like heavily featured, and I think it only works maybe because there is such overlap of like tracks.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not as I think the audience overlaps as well though, but what I noticed there,
Slightly.
yeah, like what I noticed at the gig is maybe not as much as I thought, because it was pretty
Yeah.
much like that experience there. Like when SZA was on, people were talking that were obviously like Kendrick fans, and when Kendrick was on, like people were talking that were obviously SZA fans, and like when both of them
Yeah.
were on, like yeah, it was kind of like vibes because people were obviously interested in one or two, whatever. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but it was like a weird experience because as someone who likes both of them, it was like, oh my god, shut up, like please. But I guess it's more of a pit, maybe like because we're closer, and like I don't know, I don't know
I
what it would have been like for Steve.
I think it's interesting because I think there's like you said, you could like all of their songs together,
Mm-hmm.
but you maybe like them because of SZA or because of Kendrick, not because you like those songs together because they're in different genres essentially.
Yeah.
Like someone else who recently did a collab tour, the Sweat tour from Charlie XCX and Troye Sivan.
Yeah.
Like, I think that I didn't go to that tour, and I know neither did you, Jack. But I think that maybe works better because they both do dance music. So even if you know all of Brat and you don't know any Troye Sivan songs, it's like it's the same genre, it's the same vibe. Like people are doing like mosh pits to Kendrick's music, and like they're not doing that to SZA's music, essentially, right? Like it's just like the vibe is, although it works well together, and like the vibe is slightly different because the genres are different, even though they have a lot of songs together. But on the other hand, I think it's a good way to get around the fact that I'm not sure either of them, especially in Europe, would sell out stadiums. But together they definitely did. And they definitely can, because they did. They showed that they did that. So I think it's a good way to get around the fact of either I play 6 nights at an arena, or I don't sell out a stadium.
Yeah, because I guess there has to be something asked as well, because the stage was really big, so it also took away a lot of the seats possible to be purchased. And say like it was a 1-person show, like that probably wouldn't have been the case. So like then it opens more tickets as well. Like it's interesting because like Kendrick has been at the Hydro in Glasgow for like which like 13,000 people for the last like couple shows he's done. In fact, I think every time he's came over here. So like it's hard to always get a gauge of like how, like if that person could then go elsewhere, because I feel like he's an artist where he doesn't do multiple nights in places. Like it's just something that he hasn't done, but I don't know if that's because he doesn't want to, or if he like couldn't sell it. And but like also with the pool of like something like Not Like Us, does this skew things? Like would that, like say he was to come here at the height of popular like Not Like Us and like this whole Drake beef and everything, does he does say he would do like a 30,000 person venue. I don't think there is anything in Scotland. It's just 40. I think they're higher. But like say he sold that out, and then like comes back next time and doesn't sell, like couldn't sell it out. Like, is that something that's possible because of some like a track like this? Because it is. I think it is. But like,
well,
I don't know.
think it's important. Like this tour was ideated, and like the venues were booked before the popularity of like Not Like Us and stuff. And even like I think Kendrick's Super Bowl performance got a lot of popularity for things like Luther and as well, or interest in wanting to see the tour, because obviously a lot of the visuals were quite similar to what he used on his Super Bowl performance. So I think that might be the case, that like at the time this tour was ideated, Kendrick couldn't sell out a stadium, but I think now he could. But I think it's the case of like, does he play one show in one stadium show in London and expect all of the UK to travel there, or is able to tour with SZA and then go to like 4 or 5 places in the UK, which is what they did. Like I think for you not living in London, like that's much better. Otherwise you would have had to come here to see Kendrick, kind of thing. And I think for SZA, definitely, I don't think she's really popular, but I don't think she would sell out a stadium by herself. I think, okay, from your perspective, did you see more Kendrick fans or more SZA fans?
I think probably more Kendrick fans.
See, I think I saw more SZA fans in the seats. But I think it may be also what you said, that SZA fans are very passionate, so I noticed them more. Like, they were all, like, screaming every word at the top of their lungs during all of her songs, whereas, like, Kendrick fans were maybe a bit more subtle about it. And I also think that Kendrick fans were more likely to buy pit tickets, because of like mosh pits and stuff. That's
a fair thing. I just had a look while you were chatting there about I gauge everything off as monthly listeners, and it's such a bad metric, but it's just helpful to see. So Kendrick is 13th in the world right now, 80 million. His third highest audience is London with 1 million listeners a month. And SZA is 73 million, 16th in the world, with third it being London for 914,000 a month. So it's like probably
They're
could
pretty
do.
similar.
Yeah, like probably could do like their own, but it would probably be that situation where it would have to be like everybody goes to one place,
Mm-hmm.
or at least like 2 nights in London, and then everybody would have to go to that place. But like, I don't know, it is interesting because a ticket price is that high as well, and we're in a cost of living crisis as well, and like like I paid 150 for my pit ticket, and that wasn't even the
I
cheapest pit ticket. Yeah,
yeah.
that was the cheapest
I
pit
also
ticket.
think I also think that you're getting a lot of like bang for your buck when you get to see two artists for the price of one, essentially, right? Like if it was just Kendrick or just SZA playing at that stadium, you would have paid the same amount of money probably. Maybe a little bit less, but not half, for sure. And I don't think, I mean, maybe I'm very happy for either of them to prove me wrong, but I don't think either of them would have done a 3-hour set. We would have got at most a 2-hour set, but probably an hour and a half set, which would just literally mean you saw the same show, just excluding one of the artist's parts. And you probably paid just as much. So it is good for the wallet as well for people like us who are interested in seeing both artists. And I will also say I wouldn't say a lot, but I did see a lot of like couples where it was like girlfriend and SZA merch, boyfriend and Kendrick merch, and that was really cute.
The SZA merch is sick as well, and I'm really sad I
Yeah.
didn't get one. Yeah, I guess that's kind of what it is. Like at the end of the day, like there is that audience split, but if you can make moments like that or make that like things like that be possible, it's really cool. I just don't know if anybody else could do it. Like I don't know. At the end of this, I don't even know
No.
if it works. Like I think it works for the way that we spoke in helping people get like more access to more countries, right?
Yeah.
But then does the good of that outweigh the bad of this split audience that like makes it quite insufferable for people that like want to see two people?
I think, I mean, the moral of the story is people shouldn't be disrespectful. Like, I
Stop
don't care
talking.
if you're only there for one artist, but don't talk. Like, at least pay attention. Like, come on. You're getting, like, I told Dylan after, like, you're getting to see two of the best artists of our generation and you're not listening. Like, hello?
Literally number one
Like,
rapper in the world, like of all
yeah.
time. Like
Like, it's, I don't know. Like, for me, it's like, I was not a Kendrick fan when I bought these tickets, and I knew SZA songs very well, but I wasn't like a stan of SZA. I don't think I would have spent how much I spent on those tickets to see SZA. I didn't go to the SOS tour, but I listened to Kendrick after we bought the tickets, and I loved his music. But despite any of that, for me, I was like, I'm not going to pass up an opportunity to go see like the best artists of our generation on the same night for half the price, essentially. Like that was like worth it for me, and I paid attention to every song, even the Kendrick songs that I didn't know because they were really old songs. I listened, and sometimes I sat down, but that's because I have weak legs, not because I didn't want to.
it's hard. It's like 3.5 hours or like of standing in
Yeah.
total when you get there and stuff, and it's like it's a lot. Like we've already put in our
Yeah.
work and that going to like multiple Taylor concerts, and that was rough.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess like if you went to the Kendrick / SZA gig, how do you think it went? Like how
Yeah.
did you have a good experience, or like how do you think other artists could do this? And like, is it a possibility for artists that maybe have a larger reach in the US coming over here and like being able to
Yeah.
book
Or
bigger
like,
slots or like more affordable or like accessible slots?
yeah. Or like, do you need to have a bigger audience overlap to make it work? I think I'd feel like we didn't really answer the question, but I think
I don't
it's
know.
very circumstantial.
I'd say like I'd say they have a big overlap. Like I know they have like different like genres and different vibes, but I don't know if you can get like a bigger overlap than what they have, like in terms of like how many collabs they've done, like their
I
style
agree.
like between like,
Yeah,
I
and
don't
at the
know.
end of the day, you're always gonna find like it's always gonna be like you are okay, like a more of a fan of one artist than another. Like, okay, I know they're not like on the same level, but if an artist like say I don't know, Taylor and Sabrina did a concert together like that.
Yeah.
I think even though there is like all I actually feel like that's a bad comparison. Just ignore everything I said.
What is the comparison you're trying to make? Is it like
I was
same
gonna say
genres
Olivia
or?
and Sabrina, but I
Okay.
don't think I can say that
I think that
without getting
no,
attacked.
I think they're chill now. Everybody says they're chill from what I've seen.
Okay. So if Olivia and Sabrina did a concert like that together, they're the same genre, they have a lot of audience overlap, and they're of similar size. I think that there would still be fans who are like, I'm only here for Sabrina or I'm only here for Olivia. It's just like inevitable.
Yeah, but I think that would work.
Yeah.
Like this worked. It was just like I think it just comes down to people like needing to be a little bit more
It
respectful of
yeah,
like other
it comes
people
down to
and
respectful. Yeah. Exactly. But anyway, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for listening to us ramble. I'm sorry that this wasn't as structured as it should have been, but
I
it
think they
was
work better when
fun
they're just a
yapping.
ramble.
True. So let us know your thoughts in the comments. We appreciate all your comments as always. I'll give the video a like. Give us a rating on Spotify. All the fun things we tell you to do every week. You know the drill. And if you're new here, subscribe.
Do that, please.
Do that. And thank you so much for listening.
Bye.